Hello and welcome back to Tutor Time, and I'll be your teacher for today, Miss Allen. Today's lesson, we're going to go over fractions. We're going to be decomposing fractions. It is a standard, a Common Core standard, and that means that wherever you are in the United States, where if your child is in the fourth grade, this is going to be one of the Common Core standards that they need to learn in math. And again, we're going to be breaking down or decomposing fractions today. And I'll be going over a lot of beginning fraction information. So this will be a good review for your scholar, especially during this time. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to know about fractions are what exactly is a fraction. And a fraction is part of a whole. So I like to use circles when I'm drawing my fractions, so that's what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to start with one circle. And like I try to tell my scholars, I really like to use a pizza as a good example. So I'm going to now take this circle. I have one circle, right? How many circles do you see? One circle. And now I'm going to take that circle and now I just put it into parts. And that's what a fraction is. A fraction is part of a whole. And so now my circle has how many parts? That's right. You guys are so smart. It has two parts. So whenever we're talking about fractions, a fraction has two parts. It has a numerator, and that's the number that's on the top, and it has a denominator, and that's the number that's on the bottom. So just like a whole has two parts, a fraction has two parts. The top number is the numerator and the bottom number is the denominator. And so what's so important about these parts? Well, the denominator always tells you how many parts are in your whole. So right now, if I was going to make a fraction, I would say that this has two parts. And then my numerator would tell me either how many parts are shaded or taken away, or how many parts are blank or still left there. And so that's what your numerator tells you. Your numerator tells you how many parts you still have left or how many parts are missing. And your denominator always tells you how many parts are in your whole. So working with half would be too easy. So a pizza, when you get a pizza, they don't deliver it just cut in half. So let's put some more parts into my pizza. So now, scholars, how many pieces does my pizza have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my denominator is going to be 6 because it tells you how many parts you have. And let's say I ate 2 pieces. So I'm going to shade. Now, I could either ask how many pieces or how many parts of the pizza did Miss Allen eat? And you would say 2, 6. I ate 2/6 of the pizza. I ate 2 out of the 6 pieces of pizza. Or you could say, how many pieces are left after Miss Allen ate 2 pieces? And we would say 4/6 is left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the pizza is left after Miss Allen ate 2/6 of the pizza. That kind of sounds like a word problem. We'll get to those later. Okay, so scholars, we went over a numerator. And remember, a numerator tells you what? That's right. How many pieces are left or either how many pieces are missing. And now what does the denominator tell you? Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. That's right. The denominator tells you how many pieces are in your whole. Very good. So now, scholars, I'm going to move my paper up. And we're going to take this same fraction, 4/6, and with my pizza, and we're going to turn it to a tape diagram. Now, for my parents, many of you may have seen the words tape diagram when you're going through your scholar's work and really don't know what that is. And all a tape diagram is a drawing of what the problem is. So here we go. And a tape diagram is usually in a rectangular shape. So this would be my tape diagram. And my tape diagram is going to be a rectangle. And so we start with a blank rectangle. So how many parts should my rectangle have? Remember, we're going to use this fraction or the pizza. So how many pieces should the tape diagram have? That's right, 6. So in order to get 6 pieces, we're going to make 5 lines. Hopefully, we're going to try to make those as even as possible, but we're not going to worry about it if we don't. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. And so, scholars, how many pieces were left over? 4 pieces. So let's shade in those. We can shade in 2 pieces. And how we would label our tape diagram, we would say the whole tape diagram equals 1 whole. The shaded pieces we equal 2/6. And the unshaded pieces equal 4/6. And so, scholars, if we wanted to know what the fraction would be, we can make this into a quick addition sentence. 2/6 plus 4/6 equals what? Now, when we're adding fractions, if the denominators, let me say that again. When we're adding fractions, if the denominators are the same, it'll stay at 6. And then all we have to do is add the top. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So the fraction version of 1 whole is 6/6. So, scholars, anytime that you want to show a whole number fraction, the numerator and the denominator must be the same. And it doesn't matter how big the number is. If you take the number, let's say 100, 100 over 100 equals 1 whole. So it doesn't matter what the numbers are in your fraction, but if the numerator and the denominator are both the same, it equals 1 whole. So, scholars, this is a tape diagram of this fraction. Now I'm going to show it to you in what is called a number bind. And again, parents, you've seen number bind before in your scholars' homework. And this is a number bind. So our number bind, we take a circle at the top. And for that number bind, we're going to put the largest fraction inside that number bind. And the largest fraction for this would be for a whole number. And that's going to be what? You guys are so smart. That's right, 6/6. So we're going to put 6/6 here. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to write how many were shaded? 2/6. I like to make my fraction first before I draw my circle to make sure I have enough room. And then how many were left unshaded? 4/6. And that's your number bind. So if I take 2/6 plus 4/6 is going to equal 6/6. So scholars, that is your beginning lesson with fractions. Again, so let's do a little recap before we say goodbye. Well, shall I say before we say I'll see you later. So the first thing is, what is a fraction? And a fraction is part of a whole. What are your parts to a fraction? We have our denominator and we have a numerator. What does the denominator tell you in a fraction? The denominator tells you how many parts you have in that whole. And then what does the numerator tell you? The numerator can tell you either how many pieces are missing or how many pieces are left. What is a tape diagram? A tape diagram is nothing more than just a rectangular drawing of your fraction or your equation. And the same for a number bind. So we went over our beginning tutorial, and when I see you on the next video, we will be decomposing fractions or breaking fractions down. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.